it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. Today I have got a slightly different video for you in that this is more about technique. It is showing you some of the new products from the Spring Summer catalogue, specifically the Garage Gears Thinlet dies and also the matching Designer Series paper, which is the classic Garage 6x6 Designer Series paper pack. But I say mostly this is around technique, and it's around just building up a background that you can then die cut. Now, I'm not going to go into the do a whole sheet because it does take quite a long time, but I am going to do a small piece. So I've got, just so that you can see the layers building up, I've got a piece of pineapple punch. Just having to think about that for a moment. My original piece is Tranquil Tide because it goes with the Designer Series paper, but I just want to show you what I've done. Now, the key with this is, well, not the key, one of the things with this is you don't need your embossing buddy because it doesn't matter if it's random, but what you don't really want is straight lines either. So I'm just going to apply, that's an interesting word, some Versamark ink. This is the black embossing powder, which was new in this year's annual catalogue, and I'm just popping some of that on top, and then pop that to one side. This is where I have to say apologies for the noise. Heat gun warning, so just warming it up, and then just come in and blast that. It does help if your heat tool is really hot when you start, which mine wasn't, but then it does that lovely melt. Now, when you're doing a whole sheet, obviously you would do, areas over the whole sheet. I just did one of my usual size mats, just as a something. So that's the black, and then I used all of the, well, I used the black and all of the metallics. I'm not going to do all of it today, but this is really just so that you can see how it builds up. So I will be adding some more black probably, but this is the copper. And you really don't need to worry too much about being accurate because the whole point is to really not be. So now the black is quite an interesting colour from an embossing powder point of view, and I use the word colour loosely because I'm not sure that black counts. It's almost translucent, I've discovered, which is kind of counterintuitive, but there we go. So yes, so just come in again. And melt that. And I'm just going to waft that about a bit more, and then I'm going to add some more black. Also going to move this down a bit because it's a bit too near the top for my liking. So I'm going to add some more black over the top of that, and also I'm going to add some stripes and maybe a stripe that way, and obviously you would build up with the other colours as well to get your final effect, but you can use as many or as few of the embossing powders as you like. Just clear up the overspill with what I thought was a Swiffer, but actually was a tissue. Oops. Right, so final time for this show. And this is where I say the black is almost translucent, so it melts into the copper. So it's quite a good way of darkening, grungifying the other colours. I'm almost tempted to just put the black right the way over the top of everything else. So this is the black on its own, and then the copper on top. But then if you put the black on top of the copper, can you see it? That's probably best. That it actually just, it melts into the copper. It's a brilliant effect. And it gets it all nice and grungy for you. Let's get rid of... So if you're into more of that kind of steampunk feel, then this is something you could certainly have a go at. This, as I say, is the piece I did originally, and I used all of the colours. I left some of the Tranquil Tide showing, and then I die cut it. It took quite a while, so hence I'm not going to show you today. I'm going to make my card using Crushed Curry Basic Grey, and this is a piece of the Designer Series paper, which is sort of real red and sort of not. I'm just going to attach the card to the mat, I should say, to the card. And these are my usual sizes, so nothing special. If you go over to my blog, which is linked immediately below, you will see all of the dimensions. So no need for those now. But as I say, they're my usual sizes, so if you're a regular visitor, you will know them anyway. So, real red on top. I love this particular sort of mushy version. And these are all of the cogs from the dies, which I've now buried again, of course. So the Garage Gear Thinlet dies, it's a double sheet. I mean, it's one sheet, but you've got this large piece on the back, and it's partly embossing and partly cutting. So there is texture in there as well. And then on this side we've got the dies that match the stamp set, and then all these other little cogs, which are brilliant. Oh, and the car, certainly the car, you can die cut out of the paper. I haven't tried any of the others yet, but yeah. Now, I have already put some dimensionals on the back of the smaller, sorry, I've got embossing powder everywhere now. I have put some dimensionals on the back of these because I want to layer it up, but look at that. So if you're into that sort of steampunk look, these are brilliant. And I don't mind that some of them have got some of the Tranquil Tide still showing through, because that's kind of the whole point. And then I'm just going to add some liquid adhesive in a few strategic places onto the back of the die, and then pop this down as the kind of background piece, and then we're going to build up cogs around and on top. We have got, there's a funny hum. I'm sorry if it's picking it up on the video, but there is a very odd kind of humming noise going on, and we've got a back end of a gale or something going through the village, and it's picking up from somewhere, and it is slightly annoying. I'm just going to turn that over so that it's nicely stuck. There we are. So that's our sort of feature piece, and then these we're going to add around and about. It doesn't matter if they fit or not. They're there just, let me bring in my little pot. My little IKEA flower pot. So, let's see, that doesn't really fit in there, does it? Oh, that way, that side might though. So, let's say they don't really fit, but let's pop that there. And pop this one. We'll have that one there. And that one's got some Tranquil Tide showing. And we'll have this one up here. As I say, they're not really meant to fit together in a proper engineering sort of way, but we might as well have some fun sort of trying to make them. And I've used a mixture of the mini dimensionals and the regular size, and the mini ones I've even had to cut in half. No, I'm going to pop this one on first, I think. So I want something down here, maybe there. And our last one there. And oops. Oh yes, I already took that piece off. It's one of those days, I think. So there we are. Now we could have a sentiment down here. If I'd have grabbed the stamp set, that would have been good. Let's find it. There we are. So here we go, all geared up to celebrate, or You're a Classic, seem perfect. Now I've not yet stuck the stickers on the back of these. Let's see, is that going to, that will fit there quite nicely, won't it? So, might as well, I'm sure you've seen this already, but let's do the whole sticking the new wonderful cling stickers on the back. So you get your sticker sheet. It's similar but not quite the same as when we had the ordinary stickers, the previous clear mount stickers. The key is to take the piece of paper off the back. The key is to not get it wrong. So doing it, you know, as live on a camera, not the best idea probably, but why not? Now, one thing I have found by mistake is that if you leave them on your block overnight, they do stick really quite well. So I highly, highly recommend that you do not, oh, I might as well leave that there so you can see it. Highly recommend that you do not leave them stuck to your block overnight, because you may not get them off again. This is a filthy block. That's better. Not brilliant, but better. Right, okay, I'm going to use, which is going to sound a bit odd, but early espresso, because I don't actually want black, black, black. An early espresso I think of as an almost black. I haven't quite got used to the fact that I don't have to check which way up my stamp is. So ink that up nicely. And it's not going to be a, let's put it a bit further up so you can see it. It's not going to be a, what I would call clean stamp, because the stamp isn't, it's grunged. So that's what I mean by it's grunged. It's meant to be. If you look at the picture, it's meant to be grungy, but it does at least finish the card off a bit. So there's that. So yes, fun! Nice masculine card. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope you found that interesting. Do give this whole technique of adding more than one embossing powder colour to your background. Use it as a background. Why not? It die cuts perfectly well, and it just gives that kind of better grunge look. Obviously you can do it on a foil card as well, but I quite like the idea that there is the odd bit of colour showing through. So yeah, thank you very much indeed. If you need any of the products, do obviously remember that you can hop over to my online store. There's a link to that below. Some of these will not be available until the new catalogue launches in, just a few days' time. 3rd of January, we go live! And do remember it's also Celebration, so for every £45 you spend, you get free product. Yay, we like free product. Do remember to use the host code, because then you get additional free product. That comes from me. Thank you very much indeed. If you've enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you need any more information, would like to see close-ups, etc., website link immediately below in the description bar. All my contact details are also below. So thank you very much, and I'm not quite sure if this is going out before or after Christmas, so I will just say have a wonderful time over the Christmas and New Year period. Thanks a lot. Bye!